Hello and welcome back everyone to Last Level Plus. I'm Mr. Black, and after a long couple of weeks of inability to record due to exhaustion and fatigue, I've decided I'm going to ease myself back into my usual recording routine with a little bit more of Gear Up. And as you can see in the background, one of you was generous enough to donate to me the basic subscription, or membership, whatever they call it with the game, allowing me access to, along with a full suite of part storage options, the entire color palette. So, of course, I've had to give all of my units, all 3 of them now, the usual Black Legion colors, as they ought to have. So, I'm not actually entirely sure what else comes along with the basic membership. I know it allows me access to colors, a, 100 and some odd locker of parts storage, and 3 preset tank builds now. Other than that, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if I get an XP boost or gear points boost earned from match accruals. I don't know, but I am thankful for it all the same, and I've already put it to rather significant use. As you can see, I've put together a couple of different builds. I'm kind of experimenting with some different things in the game now. I know a lot of you guys, I was going to say a couple, but more than a couple of you guys, have suggested that I get some of the spindly little spider leg mobility pieces such that I can crawl up onto relatively well-covered and inaccessible areas on maps from which to snipe, which I think is a very good idea. So I don't really have a hard and fast objective for the recording of this episode. I'm just going to kind of see what happens. I think I am going to try to accrue enough gear points to get some of those spider legs and experiment with them, but I also want to experiment a bit with some of the more interesting and unique weapons. Need I remind you that we've got some rather interesting things, and a couple of these I don't recognize. I kind of wonder if some of these are new additions. I've noticed the game does tend to get updated rather frequently, so it's nice to see that the developers aren't just throwing this up onto Steam and then abandoning it. No, they seem to continue working on it relatively frequently. I am tempted by that flamethrower. I am a serious sucker for a charming shark tooth pattern. What in the world? That is just a straight blade. What the hell? Fires a deadly saw blade along... I want that. I want that so bad. I was anticipating a melee weapon that I would have to charge people with, but I can straight up Half-Life 2 it up and fire saw blades at people. Nope, okay, alright, objective received. I want saw cannons. Okie dokie. Alright, play, let's find a match. Hopefully I don't have to click on things 1,002 times to get them to work. Yay, I was actually able to connect. Very good, very good. Alrighty then. I've really missed this game, and I've been pleasantly surprised. I know I've mentioned this a couple of times in this series already, but it bears repeating because it continues to happen with the very positive reception to this game. And I keep attempting to do somewhat new and interesting things with each episodes. I don't necessarily want them to all get to be very samey and just the same recycled type of commentary and coverage every time. I do like to cover it, of course, when the game updates and when new things are added, but since most of the updates seem to be stability fixes and texture fixes, like you'll notice in the menus, none of the items that show up are just gray and textureless anymore. There's not a whole lot necessarily to cover. I hope, now that I mention that they have fixed the audio balancing. That is the one thing that has ever really annoyed me with this game, is the incredibly loud, impact noise from getting hit. And so in that regard, I've obviously, as you can see, taken the time to put together some new rigs and played several matches on my own. Yes, good. Such that I could attempt to essentially get the legwork done in, accruing points and buying parts and everything. Oh no, no. I need to get that health before you start shooting at me. Really? Okay, alright. I should have just run. I should have run away. Alright. Anyway. And I suppose I should also... Oh god, nope, okay. Yeah, the audio has not been balanced. Come on, please. Dr. Entertainment, could you please balance that audio? It's the one thing you absolutely need to do. Anyway, I ought to introduce this particular tank build, as I'm attempting to do different things with each of them. And that's what I want to kind of do with this series from here on out, is kind of do the legwork in my downtime and then experiment with things in videos so that you guys kind of see my trial and error process of new part combinations and things. And this one is a lightweight laser cannon build, such that, as you can see, those little glowy things on the sides of the turret and the hull are, I think gravity modules is what they're called. Oh, damn! And that guy's also got a laser cannon, damn it. And what those do is lower your mass, which means that a high-speed propulsion system, like the vanilla tracks here, which I actually really like, can propel you even faster than they could already. Which means you can do what I mentioned before and just circle people really aggressively and move faster than their turret rotational speed can keep up with. Come on, get him, get him, get him! Why are none of my shots damaging him? Well, at least I took one of them with me. And that's one thing I have noticed a couple of times, as you guys just witnessed. I was clearly hitting that guy. Like, I could watch the projectiles strike his tank, and I've learned that the shield does not grant you complete and total invulnerability. It only lowers the damage that you receive. So I'm guessing there's an issue with the netcode of this game, because I've got a pretty solid ping. Does it say right now what my ping is? No. However, you guys saw when I was connecting to the match a moment ago that I had a fairly decent ping connecting to this match, and so I shouldn't necessarily be experiencing on the client end a great deal of latency, which means that if projectiles are visibly connecting but not dealing damage, it's probably an issue server side. Now, this being an indie game, I know there's only so much that anybody can really do at it, considering having really high quality, high speed, stable servers is not a cheap endeavor. But I just kind of wonder if it's something that maybe via Steam might get worked out. I don't know. I'm completely uneducated in the realm of networking and internet systems. I know just enough to know it's a series of tubes. That's all I really know, right? It's definitely what the internet is. Good enough for government work, right? At least now it's a utility, so that's cool. Anyway, let's see here. I do believe I may try out one of my other loadouts. This one is kind of a hybrid. I'm not entirely sure. I like it. It's much slower moving, but also much more stable. As I... Okay, alright. Stop showing your lovely affection for that hill, and instead, let's finally take the fight to the enemy, shall we? So, it's got a great deal more armor than my other build. Is much more stable, and utilizes those little auto cannons straddling the main gun, and the main gun is the default cannon, which, once again, I've actually found to be kind of impressive in this game. Like, in most games, as an incentive to kind of find your own way and to improve and to continue playing, the default equipment in just about any game is usually not that great. But in a game like this, where there isn't necessarily a hard and fast matchmaker, it's usually just your own discretion joining a game with a average player rank of X, then it kind of does demand that gear be a little bit more balanced across the board, including vanilla starting gear. And I've actually found that, like I mentioned before, the vanilla, like, turret, which has a very high rotational speed, and the main cannon here is actually rather reasonable. Oh god! My ears! Damage output to my eardrums. But what that means is you can actually contend right away, like I did in that very first episode, rather well. And I actually liked that because it's kind of a double-edged sword, giving players kind of weak gear right away, because it does incentivize them to continue playing and to unlock more things to a degree. But if it's overdone, you can kind of throw a bad taste into a new player's mouth, and they can just get frustrated and drop the game right away. So you've got to kind of find a happy medium, and I like the way that this game is kind of bridging the gap between those two things, like giving you something solid to start with that you don't necessarily have to immediately deviate from in order to be competitive, but it does give you all of these other fun options that are less a necessity to unlock and more just cool. Like, they're just things that you want to unlock for the sheer cool factor of them. And I think there's something to be said for that. I like this map. This is one of my favorites. I'm just a sucker for a nice warm evening color palette. Kind of reminds me of like a Mars map. I don't know. Maybe we are on Mars. I don't know. Now I've got to remember that I am blue and I need to be fighting reds. Just like the Cold War. I gotta kill them commie tanks. There we are. Alright. So, apparently I defaulted back to my little lightweight laser tank here. I think I'll show off my... Ow! 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 Could you not? Well, I didn't intend to get over to Slot C quite so quickly, but you have escalated my pace. Thank you. Alright then. Oh, right. Blue. Alright, now then. This guy is more or less a hybrid of the two you've seen thus far, essentially utilizing a laser cannon and the high rotational speed default turret in place of the assault turret and cannon of the previous rig. And I don't recognize those little things that look like fire hydrants on the side of that particular tank. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I find it bears repeating. Number one, audio balancing, please! I know this game is not terribly, like, ambitious, and I really do wish to see it continue to grow and expand. I would love to see, especially new maps added to this game, if not necessarily modes, which would always be welcome, but I think map variety would lend a great deal more immediate like satisfaction to the game experience, as well as, of course, as I mentioned before, potentially opening things up to like Steam Workshop integration with you know, parts and things like that. But again, I'm not necessarily sure exactly what that would entail for any modifications that would need to be made to the like background architecture of the game. So that's more or less just wishful thinking and conjecture. Ow, damn it. I need to not forget that I've got autocannons mounted alongside my main gun, because I've got them, and they are useful, even though they don't do a whole lot of damage. There we go. If nothing else, it can do that extra little bit of damage that can make the difference in very close engagements. I kind of wish I had, like, an overdrive button, like a sprint, as it were. Like if I were to hold shift. Ah, damn it. And who knows, maybe there are parts that do that. And I'm just unaware of them. If not, that'd be kind of a cool addition. To have, like, NOS. Hi, where are you? Come back here. No. I'm stealing your command point. And there's nothing you can do about it, Mr. Nerbs. Or maybe you can. At least I've taken you with me. And there is that. Alright then, let's see. And I think as far as episodic content is concerned, I'm going to round out this mission. Oh god! Oh god, that's creepy! I want to do that. I think I'm going to complete this round. And then head into the market and collect a few new pieces. Oh, we were defeated. Alright, let's leave game. And acquire some new hardware. Let's see here. Parts store. Let's see. Do I go for my saw cannon? Or do I get legs? I've got 13 gear points. If I can get both, I'll get both. Let's see here. Where are they? Okay, we've got 3 options, it looks like. We got the flea, spider, and beetle. Good god, beetle is ginormic. Although it also looks as though... Yeah, it looks as though in a recent update, the camera has, like, zoomed in a little bit on the previewed parts. So that may be kind of lending it a little bit of an illusion in terms of just how big it looks. And why is the spider transparent? I don't know. That's kind of odd. Alright, let's see. Which of them is most favorable? Quick and nimble, climb on walls, able to strafe. Oh wait, no. Spider, climb up walls, able to strafe. Armor 45 versus 25. It's a little bit slower. Actually, it's about a third slower. And then there's Beetle. Good god. Hugely armored, very slow, and also able to strafe. Okay. So, I can't even afford that. How about my saw cannon? Alright, you cost 6. So I can afford this, and I think the flea legs. Alright, I'll give that a shot. Let's see here. Let's get saw cannon and the flea. Alright, very good. Now then. I'll do one last round. And I think... yeah, I'll convert this one into it. Let's see here. I'll test out the new build. And he's like, oh god. Is anybody getting like Tachikoma vibes? Like Ghost in the Shell? Alright, let's see here. Main weapon. Alright, let's see. I think I'm gonna make this thing as lightweight as possible. I'm just gonna madly fire saw blades at everything. Oh my god. I love this thing already. It's completely ridiculous and horrifying. Like, you could write a weird creepypasta about this thing. But I love it. Alright, let's see here. Where's a relatively low... no. Ooh, there we go. No, let me in! Let me in! Please? Please? Please let me in. Thank you. Okay, good. I still don't know exactly what's up with that little error, but... kind of annoying. Anyway, after this round, I'm going to close the episode. I want to test this out, and that last round concluded a bit quicker than I was anticipating. I was kind of thinking of testing this thing out in the next episode, but for the sake of keeping things at least lengthy enough to be enjoyable for you to watch, I've decided that I am indeed going to give this a maiden voyage right away. Now then, I kind of wonder at the range. I also need to check the ammunition capacity. Like, where would you keep the ammunition for a Sawblade tank? And good, I get to be on the red team. Right? Right? Game. Wake up, game. Wake up. Wake up. Come on. I want to saw things! I'd like to play a game. And the game is not called Crash-tastic. Actually, it is, because that's actually kind of a cool game that I watched Jacksepticeye play. You know what I mean! My game crashed, and so I'm having to reconnect. Alright, now then. Can I please saw other tanks in half? I'd really love to do that. If you'd be so kind as to allow me. Oh, I don't get to be on the blood team this time. Oh, I'm also not the proper unit. Alright. I need to go charging off into battle and get myself horribly massacred, such that I can respawn in the proper tank. Now then. Oh, red team. Red team, darling. I need you to do away with this particular tank. However, I'm going to take as many of you with me as possible because... whoa, hi! Could you, stop with the whole existing thing? I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now then. Alright, bombard them all. Escort them to hell, I know, darling, I know. You're not very excited for this trip. Your parents are forcing you into it. I know, you want to stay home and just see to your tumbler, but you've all got to go, and apparently so do I. Alright, very good. Now, let's see. That thing is kind of scary looking. Loadout C. And... good! Oh, Jesus. Oh my god. Even the camera's wobbly. Can I just, like... wow. Okay, that's actually really fluid controls. Sick flips! Wow, I have a breakdancing Spidertank. Spidertank! Spidertank! Does whatever a Spidertank does. Which is shoot saws, because why not? Look out! It's a frickin' Spidertank! Okay, now it's enough playing around. Oh god. Okay, so those things have a very limited range. It looks like it exploded a few feet out. And they don't fire through the air so much as they do just along the ground. Ow! I can hurt myself with it, okay. Die! Die! Okay, well. I don't know if I destroyed... oh, that guy just got sniped. I don't know if spider legs and Sawblade is such a great idea now that I'm testing it, because being at a high altitude does not really seem advantageous to the Sawblades. Actually, it kind of does, because at least now I can move around very unpredictably. Oh wow, I was not sure how much I would actually like the spider legs, but oh my god, they're so like creepy and satisfying to use. I love how like wobbly and organic the camera feels with this attached. Can I jump with this thing? Oh no, apparently hitting spacebar fires my cannon. I didn't even know that. Okay. I was kind of hoping I could like hop around. That really does look like Tachikoma. You can't lie to me, that really does. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I've actually killed anybody yet. That's wow, I just realized half of their team are using, I think those are beetle legs. These Sawblades don't actually do a hell of a lot of damage. Die! Die! Damn. I'm unfortunately kind of underwhelmed with Spidertank. I was anticipating something a little bit more horrifying. Okay, well, we live and we learn. Perhaps, Spidertank, and not necessarily Spidertank, but Sawtank, would be better served by... Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Are you gonna climb? No, you're not. By, getting one of the double turrets so that you could launch double saws and a more heavily armored tank that could withstand getting close to the enemy. Hey, buddy, get wrecked. Nope, grabbing that health. Grabbing it. There's nothing you can do. Well, your buddy can do something. Alright, then. I think for next time, I'm going to do exactly what a number of you guys suggested and create a spider snipe with which to wreck people on high. I think that will indeed be a good, solid strategy. Oh, hi. Oh my god, I can almost crawl onto the ceiling. Can I crawl onto the ceiling? Hold on. Let me in there. Let me in. No. Oh my god, I can get on the ceiling! Oh, I like it. Unfortunately, I can't, like, move my turret up any farther to actually shoot down at the ground, so it's kind of useless, but... God, that's disorienting. Oh, I love these. I am actually really surprised at how much I like these little flea legs. I wasn't sure I would like them, but I love them. Alright, let's see. Now then. Of course, for sheer theme's sake, it might be kind of cool. There! Oh, get him! Yeah, there we go. I've at least got one saw kill. Let's play a game. I've already made that joke. So, anyway, for theme's sake, I know there's a harpoon weapon. It might be kind of cool, if a bit useless, to... Ow, damn, nice shot. Create a spider tank with a harpoon to be, you know, like one of those hunting spiders that just fires its web to draw its prey into its maw. I don't know, I think it'd be kind of cool. A little creepy, but then again, that's kind of what makes it cool, is the fact that it's creepy. Okay, so, I got wrecked, and unfortunately Spider Saw Tank, not so amazing, but I've learned things today. What I learned on Facebook today is, don't combine Spider Tank with saw blade cannons, unfortunately. So, now that I have gotten that bit of learning experience out of the way, I also need to remember to immediately disconnect on that match ending screen, because otherwise I've got to wait on the next map, and apparently I've been abandoned because everybody else was gone. So, I'm going to leave this particular episode here. Thank you all for joining me for Spidertank's Virgin Voyage. I'm Mr. Black here at Last Level Press, and as always I wish you all good gaming and Godspeed. Yuri, no, you're not of the Gagarin variety. No! You're not the Gagarin variety, Yuri. You can do this, Yuri. I believe in you. I have all the faith in all of the worlds in you.